guys for coming to another meetup for Charleston Women in Business. I'm Nadine, for any of you who I haven't met yet. Real quick, I just want to let you know why I started the group. It was because I had a new business and I was looking for a place to meet other women and grow my business and learn from other women. I really wanted a place that I could ask questions and not feel embarrassed about those questions and learn from other people and just really grow with other women. So I encourage you guys to watch all the upcoming videos that we're going to be doing with the presentations because they'll be very helpful. And we will be having our meetings once a month. On Tuesdays, I believe it's what it's going to be, but we'll nail down the times. And without further ado, this is Rachel Mackles, and she is from Matchstick Social, and she'll be talking to us about the trends and tricks of social media.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Nadine. I'm really, really excited to be here. I love the idea of this group and how cool of you to start something like this because Charleston, being a New Yorker, coming to Charleston, it's like, well, you think you're coming to this conservative town, and everyone is so supportive of one another, and it's so awesome. The more women I meet, and especially entrepreneurial women who want to have each other's back, and like you said, kind of pick each other's brain and learn from each other. So I'm really grateful to be here. Thanks for thinking of us, and I hope you guys learn a little something. So I'm going to go over just kind of high-level social media, and then cut some tips and tricks to how to measure if your strategy is successful, and then end with a couple of sites and software that I use that helps me work more efficiently and just create kind of more of a streamlined look on social. So to begin, who is Matchstick? I am the COO of Matchstick Social. We're about 2.5 years old, and we specialize in creative marketing for a social world. So everything we do is extremely quantifiable, but we also are extremely creative in everything we put out. We use all your usual suspects for social media. Who here uses social media? Okay, perfect. So we all agree there's obviously a lot of people on social right now, and there's certainly a lot of potential for businesses to grow their brand and really generate some leads and sales when it's being used effectively. So at Matchstick, we are creatives, strategists, writers, analysts. We don't just blast our clients and write content that says buy, buy, buy. We really want to speak to the customer and understand who our customer is and learn what interests them. And the best way that we're able to do that is by measuring what are they interested in, how are they engaging with our content, what are they doing once they're on our website. So we'll go into kind of the way to look at each individual platform, although I only have so much time, so we're only going to touch on 3. But how to look at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram a little differently, and how to leverage it to speak to your customer. When it comes to social media, a big question that we get all the time is, well, what platform should I be on? And my response is always, well, let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your customer. Because there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all deal for social. If someone's trying to sell you a social media package for $2.99, I'm calling their bluff. It doesn't exist. Each platform is completely different, and each one of your business is completely different. So how we're talking to someone in your industry on Twitter is going to be completely different, even how you're speaking to your customer on Facebook. The tactic is different, the language is different, and the strategy is different. So to begin, who here uses Twitter? And how do you measure your success on Twitter? At all. Okay, so Twitter is a really great platform for connecting one-on-one with your customer because you can use hashtags, you can use a search feature, you can be proactive and reactive in your tweets to find that person who, for example, is looking for a pastry or a chef to come to their house, or who is interested in losing weight or wanting to exercise. Even someone who, so if you're a personal trainer, someone I spoke to earlier, if you're someone who's looking for clients, you can be using Twitter search feature and literally put Charleston County, someone tweeting about, feeling badly about themselves after the holidays or before the holidays or wanting to get in shape for their reunion. Hey, I got your back. Check out what I can do for you, after the fact of going kind of back and forth and just showing that you care and you're a person behind the brand. So it's a great way to have organic conversation and not just be self-promoting and not just blast ads. There are ads on Twitter, as there are on all of the other social platforms, but Twitter, for me, is much more connection and building those relationships and taking the time to really be thoughtful in the way that you're communicating with your client or your customer. It's also a very fantastic digital PR tool. So if you're interested in getting written up on a blog or being asked as a guest for a podcast, for example, if there are people that you kind of have on your radar but you don't want to just cold call or email and you just want to slowly engage with them and get to know them and figure out their interests and then go for the final hook of, hey, I love you and I want to be on your podcast. Twitter is a great tool for that. It's not too promotional, but it's also a great way to build some PR connections for your brand. Next up is Instagram. Who uses Instagram? Do you use it for your business?
Yes.
Awesome. So Instagram is great, and I will tell you right now, the conversation about Instagram now is going to be completely different a year from now. It is a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, Facebook owns it, so we can only imagine all the data that they have available in terms of advertising and in terms of what you'll be able to do to drive to your website, to purchase on site. There's a lot upcoming for Instagram, so if you're not on it now is certainly the time to start getting on there and engaging. I think the main reason why Instagram is so successful is because it allows you to have the digital experience of who you are in a picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So what am I up to? What am I doing? What are these cool products? And you're able to be extremely creative in the way that you're doing that. Hashtags on on Instagram, have fun with. You can really go nuts with hashtags, with commenting on other people's pictures and going back and forth a bit. And again, very similar to Twitter, and I'm interested in this person and I want to work with you. Go and engage with their content on Instagram and comment on that awesome outfit or how great they look or how good that food looks or etc. So as I mentioned briefly, ads just rolled out to the public. They've been testing ads for about a year with some of the bigger companies and seen a lot of success, mainly because Facebook owns Instagram. It's going to be crazy over the next couple of months just to get people to really start engage with smaller brands like ours that only have, the couple $100 advertising budget or even sometimes smaller than that. So you'll be able to give that impression at a much lower cost than other platforms like Facebook. So Facebook is next. I'm sure you guys have heard of Facebook. Rather than explain the importance of being on Facebook, I wanted to go over a couple of best practices that we follow at Matchstick that I think y'all might find helpful. First and foremost, do you guys use Facebook ads at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so with I'm sure you have figured this out. When you're posting to your business page, at this point, reach organically is like almost dead as we know it. So to really get the bang that you're looking for and the impact that you're looking for, you'll want to put a couple of dollars behind your posts. And what's great about that is you can really, really target your audience and someone who is literally looking for someone like you or a product like you. So it gives you, that granular targeting, but unfortunately you have to pay to play. Gone are the days where you can just be on Facebook and get leads. So because of that, when we look at writing content, we kind of look at everything as if it looks like an ad. So it's clean, fresh, you end with a call to action, you have a really nice, crisp image, And we try to keep all posts under 160 characters so that it's mobile friendly and desktop friendly. So you know how you'll get like the see more button on your news feed. It's great to be able to give as much information as possible, but your customer doesn't always really want to take that next step, and we want to make it as easy for them as possible to, get the message of what you're trying to tell them, click over to your website, or convert in whatever way you're trying to get them to. Another thing we do is we shorten all links, so this goes side by side with keeping characters as small and concise as possible. So especially if you use tracking code, it gets really ugly just to have like 2 lines of links. So we use Owly or Bitly. So I'm sure you guys have recognized. So just to keep them short and concise. And again, it's just about looking at the post and seeing it as, if I have never been exposed to your brand, do I look professional? Do I look like I'm, clean and clear and I have white space and it's not just cluttered all over the place with, too many exclamation points and too much text? Text is the last thing. So if you do run Facebook ads, I'm sure you're aware that there is a 20% text rule. That's one of the tools that I'll go over that's really helpful. But when you're creating images for Facebook, just make sure if you have text on your image, keep them clean and as small, visible enough that you can see on mobile, but it has to be under 20%. So what's so great about social, and I know I'm preaching to the choir because all of y'all are using it, but you have the opportunity to really showcase your brand and who you are as entrepreneurs, but also what your product provides and how it will benefit your customer and the why buy. To do that just by sell, it doesn't work anymore. Even when you're promoting social ads, it doesn't work to just promote the product. You want to create the lifestyle, you want to build the brand, and you want your content to be really exciting and interesting and fun. So if you're, doing the old school selling of like, buy this in 5 days for 25% off now, buy it now. I mean, you're not going to get social shares. You're not going to get people commenting and actually engaging. Maybe you'll get the one-time buy, but then they forget your name after. So that would be a big thing, just to be authentic and show your personality. If it's not an individual company, show the personality of your brand. Showcase what differentiates your brand from your competitors, and incentivize transfers to your website or to make a purchase with engaging and fun content rather than plugging your business and telling them why they need you. Instead, it's about why you need them, and it's about the customer. And then lastly, whether you do it every day, whether you do it every week, at the very least, every month, go into your analytics. There's analytics on all 3 of the social platforms that I covered. See what people are what's resonating with your customer. Where are you getting, what type of posts are getting transfers to your website? What type of content are people engaging with? Social sharing, so a Facebook share, for example, or a retweet, there's nothing more valuable because it's free. So if you put $20 into boosting a post, that's still your money. Shares are great, but once a consumer has decided this is not only valuable to me, but I think my friends would find it valuable, there is nothing better. So we put a lot of emphasis on getting that free share and getting that free getting that free exposure. And then lastly, just looking at website performance. Does everybody use some sort of analytics on their website? So Google Analytics is a great tool if y'all don't currently have it. It's free and it's Google. So anything that you do to play by Google's rules, they're gonna reward you, and they'll optimize it just one step to continue to optimize your website and then give you those insights on where are people, so let's say Facebook. People are coming from Facebook onto my website, and now what are they doing? How are they engaging, and how am I converting them to be a client? Are they doing a contact completion form? If you have an e-commerce site, are they actually buying, and where are they buying? So it gives you just one more step to really refine your content and make it that much stronger. So how do I know it's working? Like I said, we're extremely data oriented in everything that we do, and as creative as your writing is, it might just not work. And if you don't know that it's not working, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing and kind of see flat sales. So we use the data to help drive the creative and get stronger and stronger every day. And what are we looking at? So we're looking at awareness, interest, action, and purchase. Awareness, you can look right within Facebook or Twitter metrics or analytics. So you're looking at reach, impressions, exposure. Then you're looking at interest. People liking the post, people liking your page, people commenting. Action, people clicking over to your website, spending time on your website. The activity and performance that they're taking once on site from social lets you know, all right, social media is working for me because I'm reaching my customer. And then lastly, purchase, returning customer, new customer, upsell, etc. So those are all the things we personally look at from each individual Facebook post, tweet, Instagram, everything. Even Pinterest, we have pin tracking on each and every pin that we load to our client site. So we can say, this is what, this is the traffic it's generating, and this is where people are going. So a couple of tools to make your life a little easier. And I passed around a piece of paper so everyone can put their email address so I can send you guys my cheat sheet over here. But Hootsuite, does anyone use Hootsuite? No?
I looked into it. I have not
Okay,
yet.
Hootsuite is great. It used to be the platform. Now there's Buffer. There's a lot of other ones that are equally as great. I use Hootsuite because it's what I've always used and I'm comfortable with it. But it's free, or depending on how many accounts, extremely inexpensive. And you can pre-schedule content. You can monitor people talking about your brand or retweeting or engaging with your content. So there's that social monitoring aspect, which is really nice. And then you could also manage multiple accounts. So if you have more than one business, you can load it all to Hootsuite and have everything in front of you rather than having to be logging in and logging out. But primarily we use it to schedule, for example, on Friday, I don't want to be tweeting. We have 20 plus clients. We're not tweeting in real time. We're coming in the morning or scheduling for the weekend and just making sure the lights are on and we're still actively using Twitter, for example, or Facebook, for example. Facebook has a scheduler within Facebook, so we tend to use that. But for Twitter, Hootsuite is wonderful, and there's also analytics provided. So I mentioned Owly before. When you shorten a link on Hootsuite, it shortens to an Owly link, which every time it's clicked on, Hootsuite will kind of ding, and at the end of your month or whenever you're doing your analysis, you can go into the analytics and see clicks, engagement, time of engagement. It really gives you a little more insight onto when your customer is engaging with your content, what time, what are they doing, etc. OnlyPult is very similar, but for Instagram. So since Instagram is one of the newer business tools, they Hootsuite allows it, but it's not quite as integrated as OnlyPult. So this really lets you link to your Instagram account, so you're telling them what time to go out and scheduling everything in advance. It also lets you use multiple users. You can do favorites, reporting, very similar to Hootsuite, but this is specific. And again, I think it's like $7 a month. So you want to be, what I will say when you're using these schedulers, just make sure that you're being, keeping your branding and your integrity, because you don't necessarily want to post something about being at PF Chang's tomorrow, because we're here right now, and we don't want our customer to think that we're phony, or there's a certain level of authenticity in social media that you don't want pre-scheduling to take away from. Canva is a tool that we use for generating ads and just images. Canva is awesome. You guys know, I'm seeing a lot of head shakes. So Canva is so great, and we are extremely creative, but we don't necessarily do really intense graphic design projects. We use Canva. When we have something that's a little more intense, we tend to outsource it to our partners. But so Canva is great because there are free images. You can pay $1 for a really awesome image. if you don't know this already, there are a lot of laws with social media, so don't just Google an image and use it on your business page. It will cost you $500. And they will figure it out. So no image is a free image unless if you're pulling it from Google, be sure to filter to a free image. And Canva really helps you find exactly what you're looking for, and you pay $1. And they also have layouts, they have dimensions, so you can just dictate, hey, I'm creating a Facebook ad, and it will give you that beautiful, perfect dimension. The Facebook grid tool I mentioned earlier, so it's super simple. You literally upload a picture and then hover over your text, and it lets you know, nope, too much text, we need to go back in and edit, or you're good to go, this will be approved by Facebook, because there's nothing worse than spending a lot of time building out an ad campaign and then realizing that your image is way too much text. And then the last one is hashtags.org. It lets you know a couple of things. So let's say we want to create a hashtag for today. Well, I want to make sure that there's not like 4,000 other people using that same hashtag, because there's only so many of us. So I would go in and see who's using it, how are people using it. If there's a trending hashtag, always be careful with the hashtags you use for your brand. So let's say we use hashtag PF Chang's, right? Well, little do you know, PF Chang's just had a huge something happened with the business and everyone's talking negatively about PF Chang's. Well, you want to make sure you're associating your business with nothing but positive things, or things within the industry. So this gives you a little insight on why are certain hashtags trending, how are people using them, how many are using them literally today. So when you read those reports of like 3.5 billion people use hashtag Super Bowl, it's all coming from these type of softwares that are collecting that data. And that's about it. I'm here to answer any questions if you guys have, and I hope you learned a little something.